The backrooms are confusing. Big yellow walls, never-ending hallways, big rooms, small rooms, empty rooms, crowded rooms, and the most confusing part of all, this was all made because of a picture. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I am a fucking
What the fuck? In case you've been living under a rock recently, horror fans were eating for the month of May through what I would say most of June. There were 3 horror movies I saw in these months: Hokum, Obsession, and Backrooms, all of which I enjoyed, some more than others. But let's not get into the nitty-gritty of things. Today we're going to be talking about Backrooms, not just the movie, but how the Backrooms have changed the internet forever. The Backrooms are something that I've been following for a while. Before all the Kane Parsons lore, before all the hype, yes, I know, I'm a badass. But realistically speaking, I've been interested in liminal spaces for quite a while. I even have a tattoo of liminal spaces on my arm. There's just something about these places that make you feel this sense of comfort while also being extremely uncomfortable. But the Backrooms did more than just that. There's an extremely eerie feeling that people get when seeing anything relating to the Backrooms. The yellow walls, the never-ending hallways, and the fluorescent lights that have been buzzing constantly. Something about this empty place gives you this constant sense of being on alert. But where did they come from? What has it done for the internet? And most importantly, what the fuck even are they? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's start from the beginning. The Backrooms originated from a 4chan post that was posted in 2019. An anonymous user started a thread on 4chan's paranormal-themed board asking users to upload disquieting images that just felt off. Another user replied to the post with the famous picture of the Backrooms that we all know, with the following description: if you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the Backrooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear anything wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. Weird as fuck. Within days of this original posting, writers shared stories about it on subreddits, such as r/creepypasta and later r/backrooms. Everything that you know relating to these Backrooms stemmed from a single image taken on a random day in June of 2002, which was taken on a Sony Cybershot digital camera. Maybe on this one. Yeah, that joke didn't really land. The only reason that we even know all of this is because in May of 2024, a group of online investigators scoured the internet and found the original source. They searched tons of file and combed through Internet Archive pages. They then determined that it was taken in Oshkosh, Wisconsin in the early 2000s, inside of a former furniture house that was named Roner's Home Furnishings. The only reason this photo was even taken is because at the time the new tenants were renovating and they were trying to make a remote control race car track, which it actually is today. This Backrooms fandom was not interested in just these Backrooms alone, but because of this single image, they created an entire setting. This fandom expanded upon its original iteration and created levels, floors, and dangerous entities that reside there. And as these new levels were made, some people still preferred the original Backrooms, and so there were subreddits created like r/true Backrooms, which focused on just its original version. But by March of 2022, the r/Backrooms subreddit had 157,000 members. That's insane. Nowadays on the r/Backrooms subreddit, there are around 408,000 weekly visitors and 7,800 weekly contributors. Contributors. I just can't get over the fact that this was all created based off this single image. You'll probably hear me say that a lot. The interest in these Backrooms didn't happen just because it was cool. Of course it was cool, but it was way deeper than that. This liminal space explosion happened because all of these places felt extremely familiar. I need to get a drink of water. Way better. The Backrooms is just one example, but there are hundreds, thousands of examples across the entire internet. These places feel familiar, but in a sense, kind of wrong. Things are slightly off. People should be there, but they're not. And it feels like you've been there before. These offices, malls, schools, basements, playgrounds all feel familiar as if we were there, but we weren't. And that's why they became so fascinating to all of us. It's odd how something that we've never even experienced feels so familiar. And the Backrooms capitalized on that. The Backrooms is just the first one to expand across different forms of media. The Backrooms didn't just work because people understood the lore behind it, it worked because people understood the feeling that came with it. And obviously, when something feels familiar and exciting, it's almost guaranteed to expand into more than what it was. The Backrooms' original image gave people a certain feeling, but the internet turned that feeling into an entire mythology. Due to one single image, communities formed and the lore expanded. And this one thing turn into a complicated interest. These people created levels, entities, rules, versions, and even video games based on this one image. Now, I know that a lot of people love the expanded lore, but a lot of people also just enjoy the original minimality. It's pretty interesting that that is the case because it shows how something so simple can be so flexible. It can be one thing, or it can be something completely different and expanded. And to me, that's why the Backrooms alone altered the internet. I know that's a bold statement, but I haven't seen that many things in the past, previous to the Backrooms and maybe the occasional analog horror video, that have expanded into as big as it is today. One single image turned into a series, a franchise, and a $10 million feature film. Because now we're getting a Siren Head movie written by Zach Kreger. We're getting a Mandela catalog movie based on the series with Steven Spielberg producing it, along with the Backrooms 2 that's early in the works. I think it's pretty factual to say that the only reason that these things are even remotely happening is due to the success of Backrooms. But I think it's important to say that regardless of where it came from, it only got as popular as it did because of one reason. Well, I should say, one person. Until Kane Parsons came into the picture, the Backrooms were underground, yet to be mainstream, like your favorite rapper before they blew up. Yeah. But once he showed up, it skyrocketed. In January of 2022, a short horror film titled The Backrooms Found Footage was uploaded to YouTube. Created by a then 16-year-old Kane Parsons, Kane Pixels on social media. This video was presented as a VHS tape recorded by someone who no-clipped in the Backrooms in the 1990s, and they're being pursued by this entity or monster. Kane created this video using Adobe After Effects and Blender. Now, before I knew what Blender was, I was extremely confused on how this video was even made. If you go watch it, you'll understand what I'm saying. It legitimately feels real. And if you somehow have not seen it yet, I strongly recommend that you do. And while you're at it, you might as well watch his entire Backrooms series. At the time of this recording, this Backrooms video alone has 89 million views. Do you know how many people that truly is? The US population is around 350 million, so if you do the math, that's around 1 out of every 4 people that have seen this video. Of course, that's not actually how it works, but in that type of perspective, it shows you how big the scale is. Now, this video alone didn't spark the fandom. It was the posts, the TikToks, the videos that were posted on Reddit. But Kane Parsons' video upscaled the whole thing. My camera overheated, and so I just took the last 10 minutes to cool it down. Thanks, Sony. I do love you, but what the fuck? After Kane launched his first video, it had massive success. This inspired him to keep this entire concept going. It's now a 24-episode series on YouTube exploring this entire idea. And what's really cool is he's even stated that he plans to keep this series going. A 16-year-old kid to come up with this is just absurd. An entire organization, a detailed plot, and an extremely professional level of quality made by a 16-year-old seemingly overnight. You wanna know what I was doing at 16? Taking pictures like this. Yeah. Within a month of the release of the first Backrooms video, he had numerous amounts of producers already reaching out for a feature film adaptation. So he didn't spend years building this entire thing before Hollywood noticed. Within weeks and a few episodes into the series, and 16 years old by the way, producers were already reaching out. After the first couple Zoom meetings, which his parents joined him on because he was 16 years old, it led to his A24 deal. And on February 6, 2023, A24 finally announced that they were working on their feature film adaptation with Kane directing. And obviously, now that the film is released in May of 2026, it was a huge success. It's grossed well over $300 million, and Kane was only 20 years old when he made it. He's the youngest person ever.
You are the youngest person ever.
And at 20 years old, Kane became the youngest director to have a film open at #1 in the North American box office. He also became A24's youngest director ever. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, I strongly recommend that you do, because I myself want to see it again. It goes hand in hand with the series that he's already made, and it's just extremely fun and creative. And so many people showed up. At my local theater, the line was out of the door. Luckily, I had a mutual friend and was able to get the best seat in the theater. I will not be expanding on how. But this Backrooms film proves that online horror is not just internet content. It can become real cinema, a box office smash. I don't know why I did that. But it can be so much more enjoyable than a basic sloppy film. Parsons has confirmed that he's going to continue his web series. He's also even said that he would love to make this thing a television series. All because of that one short film that he released on YouTube. It's absurd. Curry Barker, Kane Parsons, who's next? Maybe it's me. You're too sweet. Now, bringing it back to what I was saying before, this single image created so much more than anyone could have imagined. The social media buzz, an extremely successful short film, an entire web series that turned into a feature film that has broken many different records at the box office. I don't think people realize how much this means for future creation. An idea as simple as a never-ending series of empty rooms transformed into the IP that it is now. Just for an example, imagine a year from now, someone posts a video of a VHS that they found on the street, and someone creates this entire lore and compelling story behind it. That's an extremely simple idea based on a concept that doesn't even exist yet. But what if something like that actually does happen? Whoever came up with that idea could expand on it, and if it's enjoyed by the internet, who's to say what could happen? That's exactly what happened with the Backrooms. I know that's an extremely optimistic way to look at it, but with the success of Backrooms, it really could be that simple. And I know it's a bold statement to say that the Backrooms changed the internet, because so many other things have also changed the internet. But in regards to art, creation, and expansion, I think that this is a really important thing for future artists. It just goes to show that you could create something extremely simple based on a drawing, a video, literally anything. And it can become something that's a legitimate thing. It can become a moving thing for so many people and fellow artists. To break it down simply, this single image became modern folklore. It brought together numerous online communities that built extensive and detailed worlds together. Thousands and thousands of people enjoyed such a simple concept that they all collaboratively came together and gave this thing a backstory and gave it structure. All because they shared the same interest for a picture that looks like it was taken with absolutely no thought behind it. So if you have a simple idea, create and explore it. And if you have an idea for a film or a YouTube video, make it and post it. As I talked about in my obsession video, YouTube is becoming a serious launchpad for filmmakers due to the success of these films and ideas. This internet horror isn't just internet horror anymore, it's theatrical horror. All because these original ideas were able to break through due to the communal help behind it. These Backrooms weren't created by one person. Of course, Kane expanded on the idea, but even he knows that he didn't make this thing. The internet made it. It created the culture behind it. Put simply, the Backrooms changed the internet because it showed that the internet can be a collaborative pool for a simple idea. So if there's anyone out there right now watching this video that gave input, ideas, or simply just supported the idea of the Backrooms before all this recent exposure, you are just as much to credit as Kane and these producers themselves. Because without you, this simple idea would have just sat in an internet archive for the rest of time. The Backrooms started as one of the internet's strangest stories, but over time it just became proof that online creativity can build stories, launch filmmakers, and make things that can matter and live outside of just the internet. And to me, that's extremely special, and I'm very excited to see what's to come. I'm so happy to see how much support the Backrooms and liminal spaces have been getting in recent years, because without all of us enjoyers, it would have just been another trend left in the dust. Thank you for watching me talk about one of my favorite things. If you couldn't tell, I love the Backrooms. And thank you for all the support I got on my last video where I talk about obsession and why it'll change Hollywood. If you haven't seen that yet, I would love if you did. Thanks for watching, like, comment, and of course, subscribe.